Good morning, everyone. Tommy G here, and another Better Tune In episode. And I'm wearing even though the sun is once again shining here on the Gold Coast, and once again we've got a beautiful. It's just like there's no cloud in the sky. Right? Benefits of living on the Gold Coast, and. Although a little frosty, we've got this frosty wind happening across Australia right now, and the Gold Coast is copping a bit of that as well. And I think it was going to snow somewhere in the Gold Coast yesterday. Oh, sorry, in Queensland, not the Gold Coast. That'd be interesting, snowing on the beach. Guys, I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about heart and mind coherence. And I'm in the process of doing a heart and mind coherence, becoming a heart and mind coherence facilitator, and it's with a company called Heart Math Institute. They're actually world famous, been around for decades, and they do a lot of stuff around aligning the heart and the mind. So here's a little tidbit, sort of bit of information that I got reading or listening to a podcast one day, which stated that the heart knows, the mind thinks. The thing is that the mind thinks it knows. It doesn't. It's a computer. It's a processor. It's there to keep you out of trouble when it connects to the back of the brain, the old reptilian brain, and the amygdala. You've got this thing called the reticular activation system. It's constantly like a radar scanning, pattern matching for any form of danger, be it physical or be it, a situation, could be, sort of emotional as well. And it then goes and connects back into the database of the brain and the amygdala. So, remember this? So it goes into history. And so if you've got some history stuff sitting there from the programming conditioning of when, as you've grown up, experiences that you've had, a lot of it goes back to mum and dad. Sorry, mum and dad, but mum and dad know that too. So that thing's going to be there anyway. Your job, my job, our job is to reprogram. And so we're looking at heart and mind coherence. When your mind's trying to protect you and it's going into history and it's checking the database and going, whoa, don't do that because this is what's happened last time. And a lot of the time you're not even conscious of that because there's actually a direct route of information that comes in that doesn't go through the prefrontal cortex part of the brain. That's the part that does that exploded 30 or 40,000 years ago. They don't know why. Could have been an alien thing, who knows? But it grew a lot, like 20% in a very short period of time. And it was really good for rationalizing and analyzing, doing those sorts of things. But that takes time. And if your body's built to have you survive, it'll go past that route, straight and check in the back end, in the files, before going through a lot of the processor, a lot of that analysing, which is slow, because it wants to get you out of trouble fast, right? And so you're not even thinking a lot of the time. It's going into your subconscious when you respond and react to something. So have you ever wondered why that happens? You go, oh shit, why did that happen? Or why did I say that? Or, right? Now, as we grow up, a lot of us, not all of us, learn to use that space between, and a lot of people that have read, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, space between stimulus and response. Whether something feels good, whether something feels bad, and then there's that space in between to make a decision on how you're going to respond. So that was a major thing for me that I learned in my younger professional years. And in reading the book, actually by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So, heart and mind coherence, getting back to that. So the heart knows. The thing is, the mind is super noisy. And I don't mind saying, mine is super noisy, but I also know that genetically and epigenetically, I was built that way. My brain and nervous system, because I'm an ectomorph, like I'm sort of slim and lean, to survive, our brains developed, our nervous systems developed to really have the tentacles out there, so to speak, for sensing for danger and calculating plan A, B, and C, because back in the prehistoric days, ectomorphs couldn't really take many hits or punches, so they needed to be planning escape A, B, and C. Now, you can also use that for visioning plan A, B, and C and creating, which is the other good side of that. Now, and generally we are, all of us, overloaded with thought. A lot of us are addicted to the feeling of thought, believe it or not. That gets the cortisol pumping, adrenaline and so on, and that's not healthy, because cortisol is supposed to be there, but when you get into that sort of real emergency response situation, it gets you out of trouble. You hear quite often the stories of, you've been chased by a tiger or a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something like that. So calming the mind down, and a great way to do that, it's two ways that I use, is meditation. There's many you can do. I use Joe Dispenza, who's just an absolute guru on this stuff, and he's about measuring and science. So it's also not BS. He's proved a lot of this stuff out. There's so many testimonials of people that he's brought back from stage 4 cancer and so on through using their mind. He rebuilt his spine as a triathlete, having an accident with an SUV that ran him over. He rebuilt his spine using his mind. So yeah, crazy stuff, right? So you calm the mind to allow the heart to be able to do its thing. And it's really, my brain's been so conditioned to check, stop, okay, stimulus response, analyze, but then making a decision. And then there's everybody that's got their opinion based on their beliefs, and then it's how much value you place on their opinion, right? To whether that's the better way, or that's the better way, that's the better way. You're never going to match everybody. So then it comes down to quietening the mind and saying, what just feels right for you now? What just feels right? You can almost actually touch your heart, right? It puts a focus down there to get the impulse. And another way to calm the mind, and also to increase your heart rate variability, which is a key indicator for health, is breath. And it's actually taking a quick sort of a breath in, let's say over 4 seconds, slowly with pursed lips, breathing out. Slows everything down, takes your body out of the emergency state, what we call a sympathetic state in the nervous system, to a parasympathetic state. Well, gets it more balanced, right? And when you're there, your heart and mind are starting to line up. And then, to know, use the heart. And the heart's actually the one that should be in charge. The brain is just the computer, it's the processor, it does work, it's a workhorse. And I'm continually telling my son and trying to educate him in different ways, just follow your heart, because we're growing up, we grow up in a system, and certain things become these habits, and not all of these habits are going to serve you. So there we go. All right, guys, I think that's it. That was the quick transit special. I hope everyone is well in this time of great change in the world. And not that I'm a cosmologist or whatever, or astrologist or whatever, but I know Mercury is in retrograde right now, and of course I'm doing stuff in frequency right now, and looking at bioenergetics, having come from biotech devices like the ones I wear, right, to see what's going on in my system, because I don't want to have symptoms. I don't want to wait for symptoms, because some symptoms are life-threatening, right? So I do a lot of that and do that for my clients. But with Mercury being in retrograde, there's a whole lot of cosmic frequency energy that's hitting our cells right now. And I got to say, yesterday I was in a funk. I don't know if you picked it up on the beach session, but it was a crap day yesterday. Felt like shit, really did. And I haven't had one of those for, wow, as long as I can remember. You know, but today woke up feeling similar, meditated, journaled, did my stretching, which I need to because my phenotype tends to suffer from lower back issues, which I do, and I've got a very tight hip as well, especially on the right. In fact, I'm going to go and see a physio today to loosen up some stuff, and I think I know why it's there. And a lot of those things are emotional as well. It's emotional energy. And I used to think this stuff was crap, right? But I'm learning it's real. All disease. Here I am saying we're closing off the session. All disease. Significant amount is happening because of what we're doing up in this thing up here. You know, sure, there are other environmental lifestyle factors, absolutely, but most of them today are either stress related, you know, negative thinking, toxic thoughts, not just toxic environment, toxic foods and things. And because we're getting hit and we're so connected into the matrix of social media, our fast lives, and you know, COVID got us to take a break. So you know, you can look at it as being a godsend in that respect, and you know, full respect to those that you know, did get sicker than a lot of us. You know, part of that is genetic predisposition, and part of it's, you know, how you are looking after yourself from all the key lifestyle factors, of which there are 7, and making sure that you're optimizing. And that's what I'm all about, is seeing how we can lead optimized lives, and finding your superhuman and growing and getting better. So no better time than to close out the better tune in for the second time. double bonus session there. And yeah, have a wonderful day, and or sleep or breakfast or dinner or whatever you're doing, and wherever you are in the world. Okay, Tommy G signing off. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.